Hello, I'm Jason from StrataGames, and today we're playing some more Pauper. This is Boros Synthesizer. It was a deck that was really popular for a while, then it started playing All That Glitters, and then All That Glitters got banned, and people started not knowing what to do with the deck, which is weird because it was pretty good before that. But then also, Modern Horizons 3 came and brought Writhing Chrysalis, Sneaky Snacker, Refurbished Familiar, and Nyxborn Hydra, which are all great against lots of little flyers. And so the deck's fallen off a little bit. So in general, people think it's not that good. The Pauper format panel, Gavin, in one of his videos, did say that this is one of the most powerful decks. It's got like a 54% win rate, but that's because nobody's playing it at the moment. That said, I looked into it a little bit because I wanted to give the deck a try and found that Lindoso1, I believe is their username, has actually gotten 5 or 6 trophies with this list specifically in the last month or so. And so there's quite a few differences to what we used to know, a lot of utility one-ofs that I think are pretty good. But generally the point of the deck is to play a synthesizer to get some value and then pick it back up with a core Skyfisher or a Glint Hawk and then get value when it leaves the battlefield as well. This way you can draw so many cards for really, really cheap. Lembas is also a nice way to draw extra cards only when it enters, but still it's also more selection with this scrying and it actually draws the card. And then we also have 7 Inspectors in the deck as another card you can pick up with core Skyfisher, just a little bit of value. It can be a little aggressive if you attack with it, and it investigates, so it's some good value there. The thing about Boros Synthesizer is it can also be a bit of a burn deck. 4 Lightning Bolts and 4 Galvanic Blasts makes it so you can definitely kill your opponent from 10 or 14 life in some games. Then we have a lot of the cards that are one-ofs and two-ofs that are a little bit more unique that I think, as far as I know, are mostly Lindoso's creation. A one-of Candy Trail, another card you can pick up, a little bit of scry value, a little bit of life gain against mono red, and also it draws you a card. Krark Clan Shaman is a way to wipe the board if you sacrifice an artifact or 2. We have a good amount of artifacts with our Lembuses, Synthesizers, and our Clues, and also some of our mana base is artifacts as well. 2 Journey to Nowheres, we have a lot of removal for small to medium creatures with Galvanic Blast and Lightning Bolts, but if you need to get rid of a Writhing Chrysalis that's a 4/5 or bigger, or an Annoyed Altasaur or something, Journey to Nowhere can be pretty good for that. A couple Thraben Charms also can destroy big creatures, get rid of enchantments, and also graveyards. One of Makeshift Munitions can just win those long grindy games and kill a lot of really, really small creatures. And then these are the cards that I feel don't fit in the theme of the deck, but it's hard to argue with results. Again, this deck has 5 or 6 5-0s. Prismatic Strands, a great card, no one's arguing that, but you flip it up with a synthesizer and you have to use it on your own turn when your opponent knows that it's there, and that feels kind of weird. And it's also 3 mana, as opposed to most everything else in our deck, which is 2 mana. Let's sort this by mana value real quick. I sorted it by utility there. Prismatic Strands, 3 mana. So it just seems a little bit awkward, but it's a good card, so maybe it's just worth it. And then the other one is Guardian of the Guildpact, a 4-drop. Also a pretty good card, but also kind of fell off with Writhing Chrysalis and Broodscale being devoid and becoming so popular. Guardians of the Guildpact can obviously be really good against mono red when you get it down, but also it's a 4-drop. But flipping it off of a synthesizer early is just going to be a dead card. So these seem like pretty interesting includes to me, but I wanted to run their list as they have it because clearly they're doing something right. And the innovation doesn't stop there. In our land base, we also are just a Boros deck, but we also have a one-of Bojuka Bog as a way to blow up our opponent's graveyard, and something we can pick up with our Skyfishers if we're playing against a Terror or a Dredge or anything like that where the graveyard's so important. We can also pick it up with a couple Boros Garrisons, so we have repeatable graveyard hate in our land base, which is pretty interesting. Especially because this deck's usually pretty pip heavy, lots of 1-drops, and playing a synthesizer into a Glint Hawk into a synthesizer into a Glint Hawk means you need red, white specifically. So the black here is a little bit interesting, but again, we're just trying it out. We also have 3 Ancient Dens, 3 Great Furnaces, and 2 Rustvale Bridges. These are artifact lands that we can pick up with our Glint Hawk if we need to. We can sacrifice with our Makeshift Munitions. Also, we can use to get our Metalcraft to, be online for our Galvanic Blasts. 3 mountains, 3 plains, a couple Windscarred Crags. Apparently the life gain's a little bit better than the Abraded Bluffs in this version. I'm assuming, even though we are a bit of a burn deck, that's what we got here. And then also a Radiant Fountain, which again makes some sense. We can pick it up with the Boros Garrisons or the core Skyfishers, a lot of life gain, but it's also colorless, and so seems a little tough. I feel like maybe a Kabira Crossroads could be better here. Taps for white. Of course, it enters tapped, but we're just going to see how this deck runs. For the sideboard, we have Thraben Charm, another one, Prismatic Strands, 4 Dust to Dust, again an expensive card. If we go up against Affinity and we board in all the Dust to Dust, you want to be really careful that you're playing your synthesizers when you have access to 4 mana so that you're not wasting a Dust to Dust. Couple Relics of Progenitus. We really hate graveyards here. 1 Bojuka Bog with the ability to pick it up, 2 Thraben Charms, another Thraben Charm on the sideboard, and 2 Relics of Progenitus. We are not going to get gotten by Dredge, that's for sure. A couple Casting of the Fires, 3 Red Elemental Blasts, and 2 Electrickeries. So, I have given this deck a couple test runs, not fully confident with it yet, but let's see what we can make happen in a league. This hand's a whole lot of value and no lands. This hand's not great. We really need a synthesizer, but I think we're keeping it. And I think we're getting rid of this Bojuka Bog, but to be honest, I'm not sure if our opponent's going to be playing something that the Bojuka Bog is good for. We're going to find out, but I just think keeping double white when all of our cards in here are white seems pretty important. Forest and Wild Growth. Well, good news is Bojuka Bog I don't think is necessary. Bad news is I think we're going to have a hard time against, I'm assuming, Red-Green Ramp or maybe even Ponza. Play a Novice Inspector. That was a good draw. We didn't really have a one-drop play unless we were going to Glint Hawk, pick up an Ancient Den, which we're not. That sets us back way too much. So Novice Inspector is not bad here. It also gives us something to pick up with our Skyfisher, which is nice. So we'll see what they play here. Probably a 3/3. Yeah, Utopia Sprawl. Oof. Into like an Eldrazi Repurposer, maybe a Jewel Thief. Repurposer it is. So 5 mana for next turn. Lembas. That's not bad. Journey to Nowhere we're saving for a bigger creature. And so yeah, let's just play this Lembas. We're going to get to start picking that up with Glint Hawk, maybe Skyfisher. Synthesizer's pretty good. Do we want it here? We already have a Lembas to pick up. Thing is, if we play Synth next turn and we turn up a red card, we don't have another red mana to play it. But I think it's too good with the Glint Hawks, of course. That's kind of the whole point of the deck, that we're going to keep it. It's just so much cheaper, twice as cheap, as a Lembas. So playing a Glint Hawk plus a Lembas is our whole turn. Synth plus Glint Hawk, you know, we have 1 more mana to mess around with. They're going to Rumble here. They also played a Forest, so down to 1 card in hand, but they do get a Boarding Party from this. Okay, and they get to swing in for 3. 2 cards in hand. Oh, and one of them's a Bannerhide Karushock. Okay, 4/4 trample. I could just journey this to nowhere, because trample's annoying, and honestly, if it dies, it can add 4 counters to something. And Boarding Party is going to be easier to kill with like Skyfisher plus Inspector. So I want to Synthesizer, but it's possible I should just journey the Bannerhide, play a Glint Hawk to pick up the Lembas, and then I can trade those 2 for a Boarding Party, and then we're not dying, is the good news. I think that's what we do, because we just need to survive a little bit against them and then have them get like 1 or 2 bad draws, and we will be okay. So this is not great if they, you know, top deck an Altasaur or something, or a Writhing Chrysalis, but we got to play for what they have. Obviously, they could also cascade into like a Chrysalis or something, but you know, we gotta hope that they whiff on the cascade. Take out their 4/4. I could also play an Inspector, but then I can't actually trade for either of their guys. So even though we're losing a little bit of value Glint Hawk synthing, we still get to pick up the Lembas, so it's not nothing. And this way, we could just actually take a hit from the Boarding Party and double block the Repurposer, which means we'll just lose the Glint Hawk. They drew a Forest, so that's good. So they're out of cards. Let's hope they don't get anything insane off the Boarding Party. It's a Utopia Sprawl. That's exactly what we wanted. So yeah, I might try to just trade the Glint Hawk for the Repurposer here and then take 6. If they just swing this way, that's kind of smart. Then I do think we're double blocking, because I don't want to just take 6 for no reason. So yeah, we'll double block. It's not my favorite, but we got way more value than them. So now we can... Galvanic's not bad. I think we Synth. Hope we don't hit a red spell. If we do, we can Skyfisher, pick up the Synth, see if we hit a red land. Or we could just Lembas, try to get a red land. But then we don't have any blockers. I guess just a Skyfisher isn't going to hold back a Repurposer either way. See, these are the instances where I'm not sure. I maybe should actually just be playing the Lembas until we find our land. We got lucky, but I don't know if that's how it's supposed to go. So I think here we probably play this and Novice Inspector, Core Skyfisher pick up the Novice? Or no? Because we want the Core Skyfisher to pick up the Synth. So let's just Lembas and then play an Inspector. Or do we want to Galv Blast this? I think we actually hold up Galv Blast in case they happen to get a Boarding Party off the top. It can save us a big chunk of life. Rustveil's fine. We do want to hit our land drops. I can probably hit another land drop between all our flip in next turn. Yeah, there's a synth. And then I'm going to pass. Okay, so this way, if they boarding party, I know they only have three cards to draw a boarding party, but if they happen to do that, we don't take 6. And if they don't, we can just hit the repurposer, which I think is fine. Of course, if they have like an Altasaur, maybe this is better to save for the Altasaur plus like a Skyfisher, but I don't know. I like to play decks that have a lot of decisions. I think Synth is just one that you really need like so many reps with, and they drew a Wooded Ridgeline, so we're in a good spot. Let's Synth. I'd rather get down the Skyfisher, so let's start with this and pick up the Synth, even though it costs 2 mana. Just about anything in our deck is playable for 2 mana, but of course, if we hit a Prismatic or a Guardian, we're going to be in a rough spot. But Radiant Fountain's good, so here I could play another Synth, but then we don't have red mana for it, so I think what we're supposed to do here is play Inspector. We can crack a Clue, and also we hold up a Lightning Bolt, and then next turn we can go with the Synth again. I think I'm no expert in this deck. I think the point of Synthesizer, though, you really want to be, if you have alternatives to use your mana on, like cracking a Clue, you probably want to be doing that if your Synth is unlikely to hit something that you can play. And I would say it's unlikely if you don't have access to both colors of your mana and at least 2 mana. That's my guess anyway. We're going to start with the Synth here. Since we have 4 mana, we can play anything off of it. And they drew a card, but we don't know what it is. We got a Great Furnace, so I think we're just... I think we're just playing another Experimental Synth, actually. Because we still have 4 mana with this Great Furnace and access to any color. So I think we'll put a second one down. Journey to Nowhere. I guess that's a reason not to. But I think that's okay. So we get a Journey. It's not great value. However, I will say a minor upside here is that, let's attack for 3. If we get another Skyfisher, I can actually pick up this Journey to Nowhere and use it again. Whereas this one obviously is still harboring this guy, but this one is actually open to being picked up again. So it's not nothing to get that Journey down. Also, it obviously gets rid of one of their guys. I think we're going to pass here. We can play the Lembas, but rather than do that, I can just crack a Clue and hold up a Lightning Bolt, again, to try to not take 6 off a boarding party. That's a Generous Scent. I was going to say Speak of the Devil because they tapped 6, but Generous Scent's pretty good for them. That's hard to kill, unless we get our Journey to Nowhere back. But for now, it's going to stop our attacks. Let's crack a Clue. Of course, if we get a Skyfisher, like, ideally we want to pick up a Synth with it, but I think if we were to get one in the next like couple draws, taking out this Ent and allowing us to keep attacking is probably for the best. Because we also don't have to necessarily get them to 0 life to win. Obviously, technically yes. But if we get them down to like 8 or 10, we might be able to just draw enough burn spells to kill them. And so we need to soften up their life total a little bit. We're drawing some lands, so let's go for a Lembas. Try to find something better here. Creature of some sort would be great. Glint Hawk or a Skyfisher. Thraben Charm. I mean, I guess if we double that up with our Lightning Bolt, we can kill this Ent. I don't know if that's really worth it. Or I could save it. I could start cracking Synths, and then you can get up to 8 creatures. I don't hate cracking a Synth for a 2/2 anyway. I think there are a creature deck, so I think keeping a creature removal spell is totally fine here. So we're going to crack a Synth. We have 2 if we get another Glint Hawk or something. Boros Garrison. Okay. So we'll play that. Pick up a Radiant Fountain. We have land drops for days, and we'll pass. But next turn, I don't really want to crack our last Synth, so hopefully we can find a creature without having to do that. But if we do have to, and then we can Thraben Charm the Generous Scent, we can get in for 5, so that's not bad either. They're attacking us here. I think we got to take it. I assume this means they have another creature to play. A Repurposer, yeah, the blocks are 2 small ground guys, so that's pretty good. If need be, though, I can bolt that. We can also get rid of the Generous Scent. They also have a food token, so they're at a virtual 20. We're definitely a bit away. Windscarred Crag. We don't actually have another way to draw, do we? We have so many land drops, though. I think maybe we do crack this Synth. It gives us our Thraben Charm. We just don't have anything else really to do. So I know it sucks if we get a Glint Hawk, but we still have Lembuses to pick up. It's not the end of the world. And I think having 4 creatures here is probably for the best. Of course, if they have a removal spell, Glint Hawk, there we go. If they happen to have like a removal spell in their deck, usually they don't, but they clearly are holding something in hand. They could maybe clear one of these in response, but we got a Glint Hawk, so we're going to have 10 damage to this Generous Scent. Pick up this Lembas here, and Can still play a land here. So I'll play Radiant Fountain. Might as well keep gaining life. And Thraben Charm this Generous Ent. See if they have any sort of trick for that. And then I think we have enough creatures that I'm okay to bolt this, because if they do get like a boarding party, we'll just have to make some trades. I think we'll bolt this to try to get our clock going as fast as possible. This turn we crack in for 5, and they have trump blockers if they want them. But next turn we have like 9 damage to start going, and Lembas to hopefully find some more creatures. So we'll attack here. They're down to 12, and we will pass the turn to them. They're going to crack that food, go back up to 15, and they're probably about due for a good card, so we'll see if they got it. They did play a Forest, and then they're tapping 9, so that looks like a Nyxborn Hydra on an Eldrazi spawn. That's going to be pretty bad. I guess we used a Thraben Charm that would be able to take out a Nyxborn Hydra. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a 7/8. I guess it's not too big. I mean, we can't block it this turn, but next turn we can block it with everything, so we're not necessarily dead to it in just a couple turns, which is nice. But would love to find our other Thraben Charm or something. Unless they're going to have to hold back. I would love that. We do have more life gain coming. Lembas, we can crack. Another Lembas coming down. But they got to be worried, because if they attack with this, I guess they have chump blockers for these two, but they could take 5 down to 10. And if we have a lot of cards in hand. If we have 2 bolts and a Galvanic Blast, that's lethal. They're not fearing it, though. They're hitting for 7. I think that's the right play for them. So we're going down to 9. I was right. They were due for a good card. Let's see what we get. Lightning Bolt's not terrible, because we might need to go for that burn win. So I guess we're starting on this Lembas. See what we can draw with that. Raven Charm would be good. Flying Creature would be good. Another Lembas. I mean, I don't think that's terrible. I think we'll keep that. Just more life gain. Keeps us alive a little bit longer. Galvanic Blast. I do think we're kind of going for the burn win here. All right, so part of me wants to just attack with the Samurai and leave everything else back so we can block, but I could also just attack with everything, because we're not dead to this Eldrazi token here. So if I attack with everything, I put them to 10, unless they don't block anything, in which case I could kill them. But if they go to 10, then next turn I can kill them with the Bolt and the Galvanic. So I think we attack with everything, because between the fact that this is only 7 power and we're going to leave up 2 Lembuses, and even maybe play a Windscarred Crag here, I don't think there's any way they can kill us. So I think we just shove for much damage as we can right here as possible. And I mean, I think the best they could do is like another Nyxborn Hydra on the same one, because if they do it on a different one, like a Eldrazi spawn, we can just kill it. All right, so they chump with 1. They go down to 8, so we're 1 damage away from killing them. Okay, play a Windscarred Crag and just pass. They got to get something pretty good here, because otherwise we could just hit them with guys and then bolt them down. They're attacking. I mean, on the off chance that they're running a Lightning Bolt in their main deck, I guess we crack a Lembas pre-damage, and then we'll take 7 down to 6. And then I guess they're not dead on board here from their perspective. They're passing to us. I don't think there's a reason to do this end step, just in case there's anything weird going on here, like a breath weapon. I guess this Skyfisher lives past a breath weapon, though, so we should be good. They got their chump, and we will throw a bolt their way. All right, we got there. Game 2, Prismatic Strains is not great, because it doesn't do anything against Wretched? Well, yeah, pretty much. Writhing Chrysalis, or a Nyxborn Hydra on an Eldrazi spawn. Cast on the Fire is not amazing. Thraben Charm's good. It can hit anything. It can kill a big creature, and it can destroy an enchantment early. Electrickery's okay versus spawn. Prismatic's, okay. Guardian's also okay. Like, if it's going up against Bannerhide or Boarding Party or Ent, it's pretty good, but otherwise it's not great. Makeshift is too slow. Journeys are great. Krark is good. Lightning Bolts and everything are good. What else? Is there anything else that's really not very good? I don't know if we need Electrickeries. I guess we have a lot of one-ofs for this matchup. Like, Prismatic can be good in the right instance. Our Thraben Charms are pretty good. Maybe we leave the Electrickeries out, and I think we do bring in the Prismatics. They're good against some things, just not Chrysalis, of course. And I don't know, a Lembas, I guess? Take out a Candy Trail, but I think that's fine. Yeah, I think we want the Inspectors. Inspectors are good chump blockers. They're good to add an extra damage to a boarding party or something like that. Sometimes it feels like, well, they don't do much, but it's also like, well, they don't necessarily attack for a lot in these matches, but they draw us a new card, they chump block, they do a little bit of everything. This hand is very bad. Unfortunately, We see our Krark clan, which we want, but not with one white source. This one's keepable, so we're going to keepable it. Turn 1, Met Plains, Inspector. Turn 2, Inspector, Boros Garrison. Turn 3, Skyfisher, Inspector again. So I think we're throwing back this Windscarred Crag, even though it's a little bit of life. Also means we can't Lightning Bolt till turn 3, which could be devastating if they start with the Arbor Elf, but we can't kill till turn 2, even if we kept the Windscarred Crag. I'd rather deploy more Inspectors. Yeah, and they have the Utopia Sprawl start, so it's fine. They also mulligan to 6, so even ground here. We did get the Mountain, so actually we could bolt, but now I wish that they had started with an Arbor Elf that we could bolt. But I suppose not. Fire Inspector, pass to them. They play a Repurposer. Okay, classic. Another Plains. I think we would like to stop seeing lands at this point. Boros Garrison kind of has us covered pretty nicely. Thank God Ponza doesn't exist right now, right? I say right before they thermal karst us, but alright, they get in for 3 here. If we're lucky, they don't have anything but 7 drops, but I think we're probably going to see a Chrysalis. Oh, what's this? Chrysalis? No land drop, though, is nice, and a Journey is pretty good, actually. I guess I can bolt and Journey. Question is there going to be something scarier than a Journey? Scarier than a Chrysalis that I need to Journey? Well, I guess we can always pick up the Skyfisher. Pick this up with the Skyfisher if we need to. But for now, we're going to take out that potential 4/5. Leave up Lightning Bolt. We're not going to kill this now because there's no reason to, and I'd rather not give them a token pre-combat that they could boarding party with. At the very least, I'll do it so that they have to do it second combat. Second main phase. You know the one. And we're not blocking here, I don't think, so we'll get in for 2, even though this is never a racing matchup. Like, unless you're mono red, racing Gruul Stompy is, like, impossible. You gotta just slow them down. Wild Growth. Okay. Now they're attacking. I think maybe we just take it. They're missing land drops. I don't really want to give them the ability to Altasaur next turn. Or, like, free, kind of. They have another Chrysalis. So be it. I might also need to throw that Bolt on a Chrysalis or something. That'll kill it. It's got 3 toughness after all. So this Lightning Bolt should probably kill it, right? Glint Hawk, but nothing to pick up, really, with that. So I think we're cracking a clue here. Hoping for something good. Synth is good, but we're not playing it this turn anymore. Because the chances of us hitting are really low. All we could play is a land or a white 1-drop. So I think we're going to Skyfisher and Inspector, just so we have the ability to, like, trade for this. With our Skyfisher and another Inspector. And the next turn we can go Synth into Glint Hawk. Hopefully we can pull up some good stuff. I was going to say Guardian, because that's generally a decent card, but look at all this Devoid. Ugh, what a card. Alright, so Krark Clan could be good. I will say this version of the deck isn't running a ton of artifacts. It has 8 lands and it has 7 clue makers. And of course the synths and the limbuses, which is a good amount, 23-ish, 24 maybe. But currently we have 1. We have the ability to make 2 more. So like we could wipe these and then bolt this maybe. Could be okay. Looks like that Altasaur is coming out after all. I guess I forestalled it 1 turn. Forestalled it or just normal stalled it? In any case, it didn't show up for an extra turn. So that's good, I guess. Or it's a Nyxborn Hydra for 1 million on this guy. That's pretty bad too. For 9, or 5, excuse me. It's going to be a 9, 10. Oh, wait. I also sacked this spawn. Okay, so now we need to find our... Oh, and they're putting it on this guy. I mean, I guess that's worse. Quite a bit worse. We need to find a 3-Open Charm to blow this up. This is 14 damage, so literally can't take it. Crazy. Alright, that's not it. Let's play an Synthesizer. See about that 3-Open Charm. Glint Hawk. I mean, that's not terrible. Not quite what I need. That's exactly what I need. I can blow this up, and then these double block. Oh, but I have to chump this, so I play Inspector to chump this, and I can trade here. Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing. Or I could just bolt to this. Then I have to chump this with one of these, and I'd rather not. I'd rather keep the bolt. So let's blow that up. Play an Inspector. And pass. They got 1 card, up to 2 cards in hand. So if they're expensive, maybe we have a shot here. We're chumping the crystals with the Inspector, and if they attack with both, we're also trading one of these for this Repurposer. It's not terrible. Hopefully they can't do anything with this 6th mana, though. Avenging Hunter, I mean, I can take that initiative with this Glint Hawk, which is interesting. And then I can, well, I can't kill this at the moment, so I want to find a Galvanic Blast, maybe, for this. That'd be pretty good. So Galvanic this, have a chump blocker for this, and take the initiative. That'd be great. Not a Galvanic, so let's play our Glint Hawk. Pick up the Synth again. Still looking for that Galvanic. Thraben Charm, that'll work. Okay, so let's play a Thraben Inspector, who heralds the charm. Attack with a Glint Hawk. Hope they don't have a bolt here. Nice, we got the initiative. Let's get a mountain, because we're a little lower on red sources. Slag, dude. We got a mountain. Let's Thraben Charm. Deal damage to this Avenging Hunter. Be 6 damage, so even if they have the bolt now, should be fine to kill it. And then I could leave up a Lightning Bolt if I need it. But if they have a Breath Weapon or something, I'm going to die either way. So let's just play this tap land and pass. Alright, if they don't have another way to give Trample, another Nyxborn Hydra or something this turn, we're in an okay spot. Boarding Party is pretty bad. Into Jewel Thief. So that means we have to double chump here. We do have a bolt for the Boarding Party, so this is why I should have left up. Last game I was leaving up the red just in case they had a Boarding Party, and this time I did not do that, and that was a mistake, because now I have to chump both of these guys. That's bad. Alright, let's see if we can get out of this. We do get to grow our Glint Hawk, which means it can eat this. We have a bolt for this, and we can at the worst crack a Synth to stop this. So okay, that keeps us alive, and with the initiative. So we're gonna Forge. Swole Hawk. Land is whatever. Let's play a Synth. Journey to Nowhere is great. Let's play... So we're going to Journey this. We have a bolt for this, and we can block here. So are we cracking another Synth? Or are we playing another... I think we're playing the other Synth here. Let's do that first. Get more information. Great Furnace. Okay, so we're playing this Journey. Taking the Chrysalis. Yep. And passing the turn. They're going to swing with both, because it looks like we have to chump or trade here. We're going to kill this and eat this, assuming they don't have a Nyxborn Hydra here. Wild Growth. Okay, that's fine. No, don't tap. Avenging Hunter. Well, that's annoying, but it might still be fine, because if they don't attack, we can still just take it back. They forge something here. They're going to forge this. Well, that's annoying, because now I have to bolt that, and then I'm going to have to trade the Glint Hawk for the Boarding Party. Which is worse, because then we're going to lose to this trap if we don't gain life. We do have a lot of life gain lands in the deck, but we don't really want to draw lands. Oh, there's a Prismatic Strands just 1 turn too late. Well, a mountain. We have to take the initiative from them, which we simply... There's no way we can do that. So we have to gain a life. We have to find a land to gain a life. And then might as well make creatures along the way so we can maybe get through. So let's crack a Synth. Thraben Charm. Okay. That does not save us. It could kill this, but our first duty is to lands. So I can't crack this. I have to crack a Clue. Nah, Thraben doesn't do it. Oh my gosh, we're so close. This cannot prevent damage from this. So we have to crack this and hope for a light life gain. There's a Lembas. That's not life gain. Not quickly enough anyway. Well, that's disappointing. We were so close. Alright, we got one more game. I think it was just that turn where we should have left up that Lightning Bolt. That screwed us over. It was like, oh, we don't need it right here, but I should have, as I was thinking about it, the previous game should have been like, oh, if they get a Boarding Party here, we're going to be screwed, and the extra land we got off the thing was irrelevant, right? We ended up with dying with 3 lands in hand, 2 or 3 lands in hand. So the extra land was not relevant. So I should have just played the mountain. And then if they did that, we bolt that. We still have to chump the Chrysalis with an Inspector, but we keep our Glint Hawk, and then we can attack for 4, I think, in the air, plus we have a Glint Hawk back, or we can attack for 2 in the air to take the initiative. I think we already have the initiative. In any case, it would have been better. Okay, let's try to win this last game. We have not a terrible hand. We just need lands. Do I keep it and Candy Trail to try to find lands? Sure. We have a lot of lands in this deck. We're going to Candy Trail turn 1. If we don't see lands, we bottom them, and we hope to draw one. We found a mountain and a Thraben Charm. I like Thraben Charm in this matchup, but I think we need to continue finding lands to be able to have a shot. So we'll keep the mountain on top. We'll bin, or bottom, rather, the Thraben Charm. The next turn we can... No 1-drop from them's pretty good. I think we just Lembas, keep looking for that land. I like a Skyfisher, but alright, there's our mountain. If we hit land drops, we have a good amount of value here. We'll have a shot. No turn 2 play either. This is quite the interesting hand. Krark is pretty good. Do I just Horse Skyfisher the Candy Trail? No, I think we can just Thraben Charm, or excuse me, Thraben Inspector, play a mountain, crack a clue. We still want to hit land drops, of course, but we're now at the point where if we miss a land drop, we're not like screwed. There's a repurposer. We also do... I mean, we're cracking a clue here, but we want to keep as many artifacts on the field as possible for this Krark Clan Shaman later, which just got grayed out for some reason. So we have a Rust Veil. I kind of want to put down an Inspector because it's more mana efficient to crack a clue after that. But I also kind of want to have a blocker for this so we don't take unnecessary damage. So I think we're going to Skyfisher, pick up our Lembas. Not as much value here, I think, rather than the mana efficiency of playing the Candy Trail. I think I'd prefer the extra card. I guess if we want as many artifacts as possible, maybe I could also like pick up this Inspector again. But we have 2 more Inspectors, a Lembas. That's 3 more artifacts. Excuse me. Plus these 3. We're already good. We have not seen any removal out of them, so I'm going to do this. I guess we have seen Bannerhide Crew Shock, so if they did reinforce there, that would be pretty bad. But they didn't. I guess this means they could Avenging Hunter, but then we could just Journey to Nowhere, and that'd be pretty good. They have a Chrysalis and a million spawn, so that's annoying. I can Journey the Writhing Chrysalis. Honestly, do I want to Krark here for 1 to get rid of the spawn? Because that could set them back a lot. Now, if they have another Chrysalis, it's not amazing, but it prevents them from playing like 7 drops and stuff here. I think maybe I do. So like Krark, Inspector, crack the clue, hit everything for 1, Journey this. I think I like that. We'll see if it pays off. It's possible that I should save the Krark. Well, okay, let's think it through a little bit more. I have so many artifacts that I can play. I could also just save it for like blowing up 7 guys, or like 7 toughness guys. But if they like start boarding party, then I'm going to have to do it too soon, and then it's not going to be very good. I think we're doing it. I think we're going for the Krark. And I can't just leave a Chrysalis out here with, that's a 6/7, I don't think. So I think we're going to do it this way. I don't know. I think this is it could be a misplay, using the Krark to wipe a bunch of spawn, but it's also a totally possible that we just strand their hand here. So we will find out. Even if they go with another Chrysalis on their turn, I don't think that necessarily means it's a bad play. Like, they still would have like a million other things they could do with all that mana. There's the other Chrysalis. Yep. I mean, we're still stalling them pretty well here. Another Inspector. Well, let's just play a Lembas. Problem is we don't have any Synth Glint Hawk stuff going right now, so we're not accruing as much value as we would need to. We have all our Inspectors. Well, all our Thraben Inspectors anyway. Lembas Guardian. I mean, I guess we keep a Guardian. It's going to be good against other stuff maybe, but if they just like play more Chrysalises, or if they Nyxborn High drop this Chrysalis, like it's going to be pretty bad. But I think maybe we have the potential to play it and have it be decent here. I'm going to Lembas, kind of try to find a land here, I think. So we still do have more clues coming. I might need to keep a Synth, though. No, we need to find a removal. We need to find lands. We need to find... Yeah. I don't know. This deck's tough, and I will admit that. But I'm having a good time. I think it's interesting. This is quite the interesting matchup, too. But we will see if this Guardian's going to do us any work. There's a Utopia Sprawl. Here's a boarding party into a Wild Growth. I mean, that's pretty good. We were trying to find an untapped land to play another Inspector so we could trade with this boarding party. I think we just chump here, take 4, Novice Inspector. This turn we can play a Guardian, which blocks this, or we could just like lay down 2 Inspectors and Lightning Bolt it. I think we Guardian. Holds back a lot of stuff. Obviously not the Chrysalis. And we hope that that does some work. If they still swing at the boarding party, we'll double block, trade an Inspector for the party. There's a Repurposer. I'd rather save our bolts for these at this point because they can not be blocked by the Guardian for free. There's a breath weapon, which takes out the inspector, but it still doesn't let the boarding party attack. But I guess it makes it so that I can't chump here. That's fine with me, especially since we have more inspectors coming. Then an arbor elf. 3, 6. I might want to kill that arbor elf. Okay, we got a core Skyfisher. I could pick up the journey and swap out for the smaller chrysalis. I don't hate that, but I think for now we're playing some more inspectors and chumping. We are running out of time, so let's play an inspector. Let's crack this candy trail, because also we would like to find a land drop. And I can hold up Bolt, I think. I could Bolt an Arbor Elf to keep them off a 7-drop, but they still have 6 mana already. I don't think that's really worth it. Get another Lightning Bolt. I think we'll pass then. They have another boarding party into Utopia Sprawl. Well, if they swing with the team, I double block a boarding party, I bolt the other. I take 8, or I could save 5, but I think I'll just do this. And then I have a bolt for this guy, and then I just keep chumping this Chrysalis. I mean, we're down to 6, so an Nyxborn Hydra really screws us, but I think we're doing what we got to do. And we keep trying Inspectors, which is not really where I want to be. Let's play a Skyfisher, and let's pick up this Journey to Nowhere. I don't know if this is the right play, but we're in that under 5 minutes mark, which means less thinking and more doing. So we make it so they have a Chrysalis that doesn't have any counters on it, which is blockable by the Guardian. And then, problem is we don't have any chump blockers this turn. So this Repurposer probably just gets in for 3, because I don't really want to lose a Skyfisher to it. And I'm certainly not trading off the Guardian for it. So, yep, we're just taking it, accepting our fate. Still am hedging. They have no Lightning Bolts. We haven't seen any reason to think they have any. So there's a Colossal Dread Mask. Well, that seems bad. Haven't seen that at all. And now it's going to probably screw us over. Jewel Thief. We just need more lands and more stuff. I don't know. Like, we just keep looking for land drops and cannot find them. Oh, look. Amazing. We'll crack a clue, see what we get here. Synth. I think I'd rather just play 2 Novice Inspectors and hold up a Bolt. I guess we could have also... It might have been wrong. I probably should have just held up a Lembas rather than crack that clue so that I cannot die to this Germ token. Because if I block it with the Guardian, I still trample for 3. I have to block it with more, then I might die to other stuff, so that's bad. Repurposer, Generous Ent. Okay, block here, bolt this, block here, and I have to block this here. Yeah, I don't think there's any way we can survive this, seeing as we're having to throw away 2 creatures here just to not die, and we're not even killing anything beyond the bolt target. So I guess we somehow get back our Cart Clan that we know is already dead and there's no way to get back. And we could sacrifice 7 artifacts. That'd be pretty good. Synth into this. I think we're gone. I think based on how I would say well we did do, I think someone who knew what they were doing with this deck a little bit better probably could have gotten a win out of there. It might have been holding the Krark Clan, but honestly they were pretty slow after we did that. It took them like 3 turns to really get going after that, so I think we made the right play there. If instead we had just let them use that 4 mana, they had 8 mana that turn, plus we knew they had a Chrysalis coming, so they play another Chrysalis, and then they play another 4 to 6 drop, and then they have 2 Chrysalises that are like 4 5s. No, they're both probably like 6 7s. I don't see how we win that game. So I think I still made the right play, but maybe it didn't work out this time. All right, we're on the draw, and we have a Synth, but no white mana. I think this seems bad. I think we gotta have white mana. Yeah, this one seems okay. A lot of our one-ofs, we're throwing one of them back. I guess these 2 fulfill a similar role. And so I guess I'll get rid of this Prismatic Strands, just in case we need like a turn 2. Like if we're against mono red, turn 2 Krark could be okay. Urza's Tower. Well, we're not against mono red. I think Prismatic Strands is probably the most useless against Tron, so I think we did that right. But we also don't have a very fast start and aren't a crazy fast deck in general, so let's see if we have the ability to do anything here. I think I didn't really want a Synthesizer there because we don't have any way to play a white or a 2-drop, white card or a 2-drop, so I don't think Makeshift's going to be great here, but next turn we can play a Synth, try to get something off of it, But if they have the natural Tron, what are you going to do about it? Like, die, I guess. All right, we'll flip up Garrison. That's pretty good. We'll play that. Pick up our mountain. I guess we just play this Krark clan out. It's probably just a 1/1. I guess in the world where this is like Red Tron, it's a 1/1 that could save us for 1 turn after they combo. They haven't played anything else so far, which means to me they don't have like Energy Refractor or anything, but like, I don't know. They could just start slamming 7/7s or like 8/8s Ulamog's Crusher next turn, if that's the type of Tron they are. Yeah, mono Red Tron. Probably just big guys. Yeah, there's a 7/7. Protection from monocolored, huh? Oh, boarding party. Perfect. Into Volcanic Spite. I guess that can kill a Krark. Okay, I guess we could play a Guardian which blocks a boarding party. And then we just died at a 7/7. We could try to find... what do we find against that? Journey to Nowhere. We have maybe 1 turn to find a Journey to Nowhere. So we're taking 6 here. Thraben Inspector. Well, I could play Synth into Core Skyfisher, and then I'm just chomping. I think it's probably better to just play out this Guardian and see if we just die to this 7 damage plus like a fireball to the face. Or another boarding party. Oh look, it's the other boarding party that we talked about. Oh, it's an Oliphant. Okay, that's bad too. They have a way to give it haste? No, but Seal of Fire. Well, they'll attack for 7. See about that anything. Galvanic Blast, take out this would be decent, and then, yeah, Journey to Nowhere. We need both of those right now. Another Synth, perfect. And we're dead. Look, even Tron that's not combo can be unfun. Alright, I guess we get some Cast into the Fires. Dust to Dust? I mean, I don't even know if they have that many artifacts. Obviously, we saw the big boy, but, like, they have enough for 2 to be good. Prismatic seems bad. Guardian... I guess Prismatic can be good, because they also have Fireballs. Guardian... can be good? I don't know. Makeshift is too slow. Arc doesn't do anything. Candy Trail doesn't seem relevant. Bolts seem fine. I guess Inspector's chump. We don't really want a million Dust to Dusts. Maybe we don't want any at all. Alright, we'll try it like that. This hand does not seem great, but we do have Synth Glint Hawk. Maybe if they just don't, you know, natural Tron on turn 3, we'll be okay. Play a Crag and pass. There's a Candy Trail. Plains. I think we win Scarred Crag here. This makes it so that our experimental Synth next turn is as good as possible. Because if we played the Boros Garrison, then we wouldn't actually have access to another red off the Synth. So yeah, let's do that. We turn up a Skyfisher. Well, we're going to play that. Pick up the Synth. Even though we can't get anything off the Synth, it still gets us another something the next time we play it. So, and we don't want to set back our land count. They crack a Candy Trail. There's a mine. Pass. All right, well, it's Synth. Into a Great Furnace. So now we can Glint Hawk. Pick up the Synth. Do a Bajuka Bog. I don't think that's... Well, it might be relevant in this game. I don't think this is that type of Tron, though. If it were, I might play it so that I could like pick it back up. But I'm going to say it's not. It certainly doesn't matter right now. So let's just play Lembas. Get rid of more lands. We've got plenty. And start attacking. See if we start dying this turn. I do cycle an Oliphant for a mountain. Candy Trail. Trying to find that power plant. Put one on top and then crack it. But they just have a mountain. Okay. Expedition map. Well, that'll do it. So they got it next turn. Well, let's play a Synth. Get a Bolt. Let's just Lembas this turn. Since they're Tron, they have a lot of life gain. I don't know if we need another Synth. I'm gonna say no. They have a lot of life gain, which is annoying because we actually have a lot of burn right now. So we're putting them to 17. We have 11 burn in hand. And then we hit for another 4. So we need to find 2 more damage. Assuming they don't gain any more life. We're gonna blast them at the end step here. Unless if they go like, what's his name? Boarding Party. If they do that, then we might just lightning bolt it. Crack the map. Hope they misclick. Darn. Never lucky. They just go with an Oliphant or something. That's totally fine. Boarding Party's faster, so they could also just like kill these, I guess. Potentially. Self-assembler. That is fine. That's the slower of the things that I was expecting, so I'm okay with it. Feel a self-assembler. They could still have a lightning bolt or something to kill one of these, but that's fine. We're going to bolt them. Keep the Galvanic Blast in case we need more things against X4s. Let's play a Synth. See what we turn up. Thraben. Yeah, we're probably just playing that. Crack a clue. Hold up these Galvanics. We'll hit for 4. And yeah, play Mountain and pass. Well, if they don't kill us this turn, and they don't have any way to kill our birds or gain life, you know, we might be able to kill them. That would be pretty chill, if I do say so myself. Alright, they cast a Maelstrom Colossus after like 2 full minutes of lag. It has been terrible. And then they get the boarding party off of it. And then cast Into the Fire. Well, that doesn't do too much. These are all ground creatures, so it looks scary, but if we can still hold true to our Galvanic Blasts, we don't lose our flyers, and we don't lose our... That's fine. And they don't gain life, we can be okay. They get rid of one of our lands, totally fine. We have 5 artifacts over here, and we have enough mana. And they cast Bitter Reunion to give haste, but that's fine, because they're going to be tapped out, and we're not going to be dead. They're attacking for 17, which is pretty good, but not quite enough. I'm just going to blast them here, blast them again, and then jump here. Boom, crack this clue, and then we'll attack with 2 flyers, and we will get them. All right, so that's what we needed them to do, which is nothing for the first 5 turns, and then we can start getting there. Dust to Dusts, let's revisit. They do have self-assemblers as well as Maelstrom Colossus. Obviously, they have Expedition Map, Candy Trails, stuff like that, but they sack a lot of that early. But I guess if I were in that position right there and I didn't have all the burn, being able to take out a self-assembler and a Maelstrom Colossus is pretty good. So, and Prismatic Strands, it's tough because like Prismatic Strands is obviously bad there, but they do also just play like Fireballs a lot of times. So maybe we go 1 and 1 because like I would hate having 2 of these, but like having a Dust to Dust seems okay. Still doesn't seem like enough artifacts for me to put in 4 of them, but maybe 1 of could be okay. I know we're just going to hit it off of a synthesizer, and it's going to be when they only have 1 artifact, and it's going to be really bad. But what are you going to do? You know, cry? I probably will. Okay, what of it? All right, no lands. We're down to 6. No lands. We're down to 5. No white lands. We are crying. I guess we hope that Synth can get us there, and we get rid of this Lembas and this Skyfisher. Or do we really hope it can get us there and get rid of Bolt and Lembas? I think that might be better. We need to find white lands, but if we do, maybe this engine can get us there. Then again, maybe we should just try to go for the burn win again and keep that Lightning Bolt. Hey, there's our land, our plains. So I guess we're just going Mountain and passing. And next turn, we might just Synth. It's just so bad if we hit anything other than a 1-drop. They have their map, so they're going to have turn 3 Tron again. Thraben Charm. I mean, we even have some 3-drops, so like it really feels like we should save this for turn 3, but like, can we afford to take that time off? I don't think so. I think we're just gonna play it. Hey, we got a 1-drop, so we were lucky. Land Inspector. I mean, the next turn we play a Glint Hawk. If we don't have a Plains, we're not gonna be able to play a white creature off of it, so we're not in a great spot. Oh look, they just have the natural again. Why wouldn't they? Tron is so much fun. Expedition Map for a Mountain. Well, that's embarrassing. Let's play a Glint Hawk. We did get our plains, so cast most things off of this. All right, that's a Rust Veil. Do we want that, or do we want to just play a plains and like crack a clue, or even get down this the Core Skyfisher? They're gonna start playing 8-drops, and that seems bad. Yeah, I think we need the tempo of like drawing a card here over this extra land. So we're just going to pass, hold up our clue. If they do boarding party us, we have a Thraben Charm to kill it at the very least. So that's something. There's the boarding party. Do a campfire. I can live with that. So let's kill the 6/3 before it hits us. All right. And they pass. Lightning Bolt's not bad. Let's get a Synth going. Plains. Let's Skyfisher the Synth and hope for a 1-drop, I guess. Ancient Den. Yeah, I guess the artifact's better? Question mark? I mean, they have Cast in the Fire we saw, but for Galvanics it'll be better. Alright, they Campfire. By playing the Ancient Den as opposed to our Great Furnace, we don't have Lightning Bolt up. I did know that. We don't want to waste all of the value we're getting off the Synth, though. So, yeah. Let's see what they got here for 3 mana. Let's see it. Cast into the fire. Hey, look at that. It's almost like I called that that was a potential. Oh, and they still have 8 mana if they want to cast a Maelstrom Colossus. Self-assembler, that's a little better for us, I guess. I wouldn't hate the dust to dust now, I guess. Take out these. We got another assembler. It's another synth. Alright, doesn't do us a lot of good. It's a lightning bolt. So I could swing with a Thraben Inspector and then threaten the lightning bolts, or I could just bolt their face. I think the bolt's going at their face either way. The question is, are we willing to make the bluff on the Thraben Inspector? And I think, yeah. I mean, let's play this Great Furnace and show them that we're going to do it. And then we'll swing, and maybe we will do it if they block. They do block. Yeah. I mean, they're at 14 still with a campfire going, so I think we actually do have to just kill this. Much as I want to throw it at their face. Campfire's gonna... If they didn't have the campfire, I would go for the burn win, but like we need a lot of burn for that to happen. A lot of burn and a lot of birds. And there's another assembler. They can play a second one if they want. We're gonna crack a clue on the end step here. Yeah, we're only gaining 2 damage on them per turn because of the campfire. I guess if they play the self-assembler, they would need another land to be able to also use campfire. That's something, I guess. They do have that other land though, so they go for the assembler, pick up their 4th copy, and have a bolt actually for our Skyfisher. I guess that's about the same as campfiring and gaining 2 life. We'll crack our clue, we get an Ancient Den. Journey to Nowhere is not nothing, I guess. Novice Inspector. We'll play that. I guess we will play this Journey. I'd rather use it on a 7/7 than a 4/4, but the 4/4 is the one that we're going to be dying to right now. So I guess that's what we're using it on. And now we, are pretty much offset all of our damage with this campfire. They swing here, we probably block and bolt it, unless they also play like a boarding party, in which case we're obviously just bolting that. The Bitter Reunion. Discard an expedition map, see if they can get any more giant creatures. They play their other self-assembler, forgetting that it can't find another one. Goofy. Crack their Bitter Reunion, and use the campfire. Swing with their guys. Let's make a little 2-for-1 trade here. They cast into the fire another one of our lands. We'll just bump off this assembler. And they also have an expedition map. Okay, well, if they don't draw anything for a few turns, we might have a shot here. Assuming we do draw something. Glint Hawk is a great start. Okay, let's pick up this synth. Into an inspector. So I could synth, but then the chances of getting we would need a red 1-drop that we could play without wasting it are low. So we're just going to play this, and we haven't hit a land drop this turn, so let's crack a clue in case we do. We don't, but that's fine. Hit for 2, and we'll pass. Of course, they can get more mana with their expedition map, but if they just draw lands or more maps and stuff, we could be okay here. Crack it for a tower, probably. They're a coward, hiding in their towered. Oh, they even did that in upkeep because they're a try-hard. All right, attack for 4. We're gonna take it. We might start jumping next turn. I mean, if they have a fireball, obviously we're just dead. But they don't. Galvanic Blast can also just kill that, so that's pretty good. Let's start with a synth. Like I said, we just need them to whiff for like 1 or 2 turns, and we might be okay. Boros Garrison's pretty good. Let's throw out an inspector. I think actually we're trying to save this Galvanic Blast to go face. Try to give them as few turns as possible. So we're attacking. They have a bolt. Okay, that's going to make things worse. But it's better than the fireball. I mean, this means we only have 1 extra damage on them, I guess. Yeah, let's crack a clue and play a Boros Garrison. Pass. So I think actually maybe we are taking another hit here, because now we kind of need this attacker. Because they're at 15, we're hitting for 4, and we have a 4 in our hand with a Galv Blast. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take 1 more hit. What's the worst that could happen? We're at 8, and they passed us. A mountain. Well, we're gonna... I think I'm cracking a synth, because I want the 2/2. Windscarred Crag, I mean, that doesn't do a lot. I guess we don't even have Metalcraft anymore. We have the ability to get it in our hand, though. But not if I play this. Question is, do I really need it this turn? I think we're just going to chump with this Samurai. Or I could just chump with the Inspector. I lose 1 damage this turn, but then I start gaining more. I think that's fine. So attack for 3, chump with an Inspector, and then I guess if I correct this clue, I need 2 more artifacts. So it's possible I missed my window with, not missed my window with Galvanic, but I need to get another artifact for it. That's a bitter reunion. That's pretty annoying. Haste is bad, and the redraw is bad. Double redraw. Get rid of a mountain. Activate Campfire. I mean, looks like their draws weren't amazing. We're gonna chump with this Inspector. It's also possible I should have just, like, not jumped again, but I should have attacked with that guy if I were going to do that. Just because I gained that 1 life, so maybe it would have mattered. They play a land. All right, we're cracking this clue. We got to find some more burn or Glint Hawks or something. Unless they're just killing us here somehow. Or maybe just Breath Weapon, wipe our board. Cast into the Fire or Synth. I mean, that's annoying. It's not the end of the world. Although we now are so far from Metalcraft. And it hits a Journey to Nowhere, which we kind of wanted. We get a Lembas. That's not bad, though. All right. Let's... Great Furnace. Let's start with a Lembas. See what we can get from there. Thraben. That gets us back to Metalcraft. So we can attack for 5. We're at 9. I think we take that. It's also a chump blocker. So play that. Rustvale Bridge. Back to our Metalcraft. Back for 5. And pretty sure we're dead to... I'm confident we're dead to a Fireball, even if we Lembas here. Like before going to their turn, so I'm just going to let them have it. If they have some sort of other burn, maybe we can get them with the Lembas, but they are tapping a million mana, so I bet we are now getting Fireballed. I mean, we held out for as long as we could, but yeah, they have it for 17. I guess we'll gain 3. We can bolt them down to 5, but they got us. All right, we are keeping this, I guess. Lands and a Synth is kind of where you want to be, I think. We are against. Hello there. So we're starting with a Rustvale and playing the Synth on turn 3, I believe. What we're doing. I could also start with a Great Furnace if I really think they're on like mono red, but I think getting our tap land down is probably better. They're on a multi 6. So Rustvale Bridge and pass. Oh, is it mono red after all? I mean, we wouldn't want to bolt this anyway. We'd probably only want to hold up the bolt and use it on a Tomb Raider, maybe a Lackey. Another artifact land is not great, but I guess we're playing that and then passing, and next turn we can Synth. Again, we have a lot of 2-drops in this deck, so we don't really want to Synth unless we can play at least a 2-drop. And our Prismatic Strands is already in hand, so the only other hit in there that would be unplayable would be Guardian. We're taking another 1 here, but no other hasty guys, so maybe we're okay. They might Kuldotha this, though. There's a Great Furnace, Epicure, and pass. Okay. I guess we're holding this bolt for another turn. Glint Hawk, that's pretty good. Alright, we're going to Synth into a Glint Hawk. I mean, we're going to play that. Pick up this Synth once more. Live in the Dream. Raven Charm, I mean, that's kind of a not a good card in this deck anyway. In this matchup, that is. So I'm kind of okay with that getting exiled, not used. Like, if I could kill a 1/1 with it, I would, but I can't, so I will not. This time we get to leave up our Lightning Bolt, though. I'll probably use it on an Epicure if they don't have a more enticing target. They have a Blast for our guy. Next turn, we're probably just Synth and Glint Hawking again. But I do want to have a turn where I can Prismatic, like, hold up the Prismatic Strands with the Glint Hawk down. They Synth into a Synth of their own. Ooh, they're getting fancy on us. Into a Rebirth. Let's see if they got the Mountain. They do. Okay, now we need a Krark. So the fact that we need a Krark kind of makes me not want to bolt this, but the fact that we're going to have a million 1/1s to deal with either way makes it so that I actually want to bolt it a little bit more too. So, like, if we get a Krark, we wasted the bolt. And we saved the damage off of it. It's not the end of the world. All right, they Kuldotha'd their Blood Token. Let's Synth into a Lembas. We're playing that for sure. I think I also want to get this Glint Hawk down. And if I pick up the Synth, we're probably going to waste what we pick up with it, but it'll give us another Synth use, and if we hit an untapped land with it, we'll still use it. So I think it's fine. Glint Hawk. Oh, I don't like wasting that. I could play an Ancient Den and then use the Glint Hawk, pick up a land, or I could use the Lembas. I didn't expect to have to make such a hard choice. Lembas is 3 life, but a Glint Hawk's another blocker. And if they can't, they can probably kill one of these Glint Hawks, but if they can't kill two, they have to start throwing away guys. And I kind of need the Glint Hawks for the Prismatic Strands. So yeah, I think we're doing the Glint Hawk and picking up a Great Furnace here. I could also have played the Synth again and then picked it up with the Glint Hawk. That's kind of I guess it's not really a waste of anything, and it would let us have an extra land on the field. Actually, that might have been right. Like, we see 2 more cards that get wasted, but I still have the Synth in hand at the end of it, and I have an extra land on the field. So actually, I made a bit of a misplay there. Should have just done that. It would have hurt my soul a little bit more, because I would see more cards going to waste, but what are you going to do? They have the Chain Lightning, kill one of the Glint Hawks. The fact that we don't have a Prismatic Strands to hold up here is really frustrating. That's another reason I feel like, I don't know how I feel about this in this deck. We never know how much mana we're going to use in a turn, because one Synth could turn into a land, but it could also turn into a Glint Hawk, into a Synth, into a Glint Hawk, and so it's hard to know, and like leave up 3 mana. But anyway, they are bushwhacking here. See, it would be great to have a Prismatic Strands. I think we're taking this. We're taking 10, go down to 6, but we get to keep our Glint Hawk, which means we get an extra Prismatic Strands off of it. Yeah, honestly, having that extra land here would be really good. So, pretty sad that I made that mistake. Ooh, I was going to Synth, but actually, I think we're just going to Inspector and hold up this Prismatic. So, I mean, we're not in a great spot here. Extra land would help, but wouldn't be everything, but it could be good. They're going to crack a Synth for a Chain Lightning. Hey, we can throw that back at least. They're going to swing. This is pretty good, actually. So we get to block here and then eat these guys, but we also get to Prismatic Strands, which is going to waste the Chain Lightning since it's sorcery speed. We might as well do it now so that we don't take 3 and then have to use it for the Chain Lightning anyway. So that's not terrible. We have a Clockwork. We need some good stuff off this Synth, though. Boros Garrison's not bad if we can find like a Radiant Fountain to gain some life. Novice Inspector. I think we're cracking a clue here. Hold up a Bolt. Yep, so we'll play Mountain, play a Novice, and then pass. We have a Bolt for this, and we have Prismatic for all this. So we might be able to survive here. They have a Synth again. Cracking that for an End the Festivities for 1 damage. It's only 1 damage to us, doesn't kill any of these until they attack with everything, so I think we just let this through, and then if they want to attack with a bunch, we can then Prismatic and like make them trade a bunch of stuff. They leave back the Goblin tokens. Pretty awkward. So I'm just bolting this Samurai, I think. Keep this Glint Hawk around, or I could just bolt this other Samurai and let these trade. I guess it's probably better for them to have fewer creatures, but then again, I'm either losing everything here. I kind of need to keep this Prismatic Strands around, but I'm going to get a white creature off this Synth. Oh, this is tough. I think I'm bolting this, letting these trade, because if I Prismatic here, I can keep my guys alive, these two, but then if they just get like 2 bolts, I'm like dead to those bolts. So I think we have to let these all trade. And they reveal Galvanic Blast and a Synth. That's not bad for them. Journey to Nowhere doesn't do a lot. I mean, I kind of need to crack this Synth for a 2/2. So I think we're starting with that, even though obviously I want to have it on the field. Just don't think that's going to work this time. There's an Inspector. Play that. Great Furnace, and we'll pass. We're not dead yet, but they have a Synth into something. Galvanic Blast, which is either 2 or 4 damage. And yeah, plus their draw for the turn. Synth into a Lightning Bolt. Pretty good. Baldarn Epicure. So I can't respond to this with a Prismatic because then they just double bolt me. Well, Bolt and Galvanic Blast, which means I die. And if they Lightning Bolt me, I have to let that go through, and then I have to use it on the Galvanic. So they're probably going to bolt me here to try to bait it out. No, I guess they just do this. Oh, I guess that makes it so I have to tap this guy, which means they can attack, and I die anyway. No, because then this prevents the red damage. Okay, I'm overthinking it a little bit. So I'm not going to die here, but they are going to put me to 1, which is pretty bad. So Radiant Fountain would be a good draw. I have a couple clues to find it. Synth. Even just a Windscarred Crag wouldn't be terrible. I mean, Kark's okay. Let's play a Synth. Spectre. Let's crack a clue. Galvanic Blast. Play this. Play Kark. And then wipe the field for 1. And then attack. and then I have to race, and I have to hope they like whiff for a while. I think I'm sacking a land because I want to draw pretty badly here, and then I just want to have as much mana as possible, even though this isn't bouncing anything that gains me life. I mean, we're dead to a bunch, but we'll see if they draw poorly. They crack their synth, get a lackey off of it, discard a mountain with their blood token, and they have the lightning bolts. Good for them. All right. Well, we get prismatic strands, electricaries, cast into the fire, and we get to take out journeys, which are not very good. Thrabans are not very good. Makeshift's pretty slow. Guess we keep Guardian. It's slow as well, but like if we get to that point, it's not bad. All right. Well, if we get cast into the fire, we're in a bad spot, but I think this hand looks reasonable. Start with a lightning bolt. Just, you know, at least a lightning bolt capability. Hey, there's a Tomb Raider. I know it doesn't have haste this turn, but we're still just going to kill it. It's going to need to die at some point anyway. Might as well be now. Inspector. I think we probably just play that. I could go Synth first, but as always, I don't really like it here. At least when I play it on my turn 3 without the ability to play a 2-drop, I can like play the land. They have a Galvanic Blast for the Novice Inspector. I can live with that. And then a Lackey. They hit for 1. Do you want to make those land drops? Lightning Bolts. Well, I'm going to go for a Synth. Prismatic Strands. Well, this is when I don't like it. I'm going to go for a Glint Hawk, trying to find that land. And we found a Glint Hawk, so that's not great. Probably just dies to a Bolt. They play a Lackey. There's the Blast. Lackeys don't die to cast into the fire, too, so that's annoying. We're at 17. Galvanic Blast. I mean, I want to blast these, but I also feel like we need to Synth. If I Synth and I whiff, it's pretty bad. If I Bolt, it doesn't do a ton. I think we're going to Synth. Candy Trail is playable at least, and hopefully finds us some lands. There they are. Okay. I think we're keeping both of those, hoping they don't get blown up. But next turn we get a Great Furnace, and we can go, you know, double Bolt or Bolt Blast these guys or something. Probably try to do it when they're tapped down a little bit so they can't crack them in response. They just pass here without casting anything. I won't blow them up right away, but like that's also fine if they're not doing anything. They cast into the fire like a Great Furnace. You know, I'm getting another Great Furnace, but that's still pretty bad. They play a mountain and pass back to us. We're going to play a Great Furnace and pass it to them. I think we're just going to let these through, and then next turn we can slam down a Guardian, so that can block them pretty well. We're going to crack a Candy Trail, gain that life. An Ancient Den, play the Guardian, and hope we don't get burned to death. I mean, if I were in their position, unless I had a way to make a bunch of guys here, I might crack a Lackey there to try to go for the burn win, but there's a Bushwhacker, so some blocking here. We're at 12. We do need more life gain, ideally. We're passing. There's some life gain. Play a Lembas. Novice Inspector, yeah, let's keep that. That's a blocker. Oops. So we'll play Novice Inspector. Now we can block them both. We have a Lembas, clues, some other stuff. So we're doing okay, I think. They're gonna crack a Lackey here, and I kind of want to kill the other one, but I think we probably just Lembas. Oh god, I could Lembas if they're going mostly burn, but if they happen to get like a Kuldotha Bushwhacker, I'm really going to want the cast into the fire. I guess we'll just leave it. Pretty tough. Whichever one we choose, we could maybe die to the other. They're going to crack this Lackey, though. Still could be fearful of the other, the Bushwhacker, Kuldotha. So Chain Lightning us with the ability to throw it back at them. But obviously we don't want to do that. That gives them a free bolt. So I think now we can just crack this. Let's see if we get punished, but on the off chance that they have 3 lightning bolts or galvanics in hand, I kind of wanted to do it there so that they wouldn't have the ability to respond to us cracking it by shooting us 3 times. They did have the Kuldotha Rebirth, but we have a cast into the fire for that. Get a Synth. Let's use that. Turn up a Rustvale Bridge. That's fine. Let's just play it. And I could just pass. I think we have enough bolts and stuff. I mean, it's attacking for 1. It's pretty small, probably not really worth it, but like this could entice them to go for a bigger attack, and if I have cast into the fire and bolt, I can take out already 3 guys. So if they just swing with these guys here, I'm just gonna block one, cast the other two, not let them get the 2 damage on us. And so the Novice Inspector blocking didn't really matter. Of course, we could still die to bolts here, which they're going to go for if we correct this clue, but I kind of have to do something. We're going to tap out at some point, and they will have the opportunity to kill us at that point. So we need to kind of find some more life gain first. Here's a Synth. Clearly, they did not have 12 instant speed damage there because they didn't use it, so we're safe from that for this turn. Glint Hawk is a good draw. Let's find another Lembas, maybe. Pick up a Synth. There's a Lembas. Let's play that. More life gain. Perfect. I think we hold back. They couldn't kill us this turn, clearly, so I think we're just going to crack this Lembas now, because clearly they don't have the burn for it. So let's not give them the opportunity to find it. We have 3 blockers, so if they have the creature route, then we have a good amount of blockers for it, I think. Play our Bog and just pass to them. I think we can potentially pull ahead here if we just don't die and if we play correctly. They play a Great Furnace. That's good. Every land is 3 damage we're not taking. And they pass back to us. Galvanic Blast. Okay, we have 11 damage in hand, plus 5 here, so that's 16. So we need 1 more bolt, and we'll be able to get them. Let's just play a Synth, see what we turn up. Prismatic Strands. I mean, it's not terrible. Okay. We were going to just cast that and put it into our graveyard, so we would have 1 Prismatic Strands to use later. So it wasn't terrible that we turned it up, but obviously it's better to draw it. All right, so we got there, and then let's see what the last game has for us. 1 land. I mean, I like Glint Hawk Synths, but 1 land is just not feasible. This one we're going to keep. Get rid of the cast into a fire, I think. Yeah. And try to find some red lands. Great Furnace, Tomb Raider. That's the start. I wouldn't hate a mountain here, just to be able to blast this. Nope. Land Inspector and pass. They have an Epic here, and past us. Candy Trail, I guess, can help find our red sources. Bojuka Bog doesn't do us any good. Guardian's going to be too slow this game, unfortunately. Play another Inspector and pass. I mean, we can go for the double block on the Tomb Raider, but currently that probably just leaves us with 2 Inspectors dead, and then down a Bolt. If they don't just, Galvanic 1 right now. So we don't even have that option. Synth turns up a Bushwhacker. They have the land for it, so they're going to Bushwhacker here. We have to either take 7 down to 8, or we have to trade. I guess we trade. Down to 10. Red source. There we go. So I guess we're just doing Great Furnace and Candy Trail. Gain some life. We have a Bolt for this. Another Bolt to maybe survive here. Next turn, a Lembas. Take that guy out. We'll take 1. We're at 12. They have a Gorilla Shaman. Of course they do. Well, that's going to be the game unless I draw a mountain here. Even blow up a clue. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, we're on the play here. Hand looks reasonable. Lands, Synth, Skyfisher. Opponent mulls to 5. Feeling pity for our current record. Plays a Forest and passes. Get an Ancient Den. We're just going to Rustveil Bridge and pass again. Next turn we'll Synth. They cycle a Troll, so it looks like Dredge. We do have Thraben Charms. I mean, as we talked about in our pre-game conversation, we have a million ways to deal with Dredge, so hopefully this will be a good matchup for us. Blanchwood Prowler picks up a Conduit Pylons. Novice Inspector. Let's start with the Synth. Get another Inspector. Okay. We'll just play a couple of them out. And then pass. So main deck, we have Bojuka Bog and 2 Thraben Charms. And also ways to pick up the Bojuka Bog. So if we find the Bog, we'll probably use it pretty quickly. And then we can pick it up with like a Skyfisher or something. And then in our sideboard, we have another Thraben Charm and 2 Relics. So that'll be 6 cards to deal with it. Scrapwork Mutt. Binning a Stinkweed. Yep. Boom. Bunch more cards, including another Stinkweed. Bunch of creatures. Gonna attack with the Blanchwood Prowler? No. Alright. We got a Plains. Let's start with the Skyfisher on a Synth. Krark. I mean, that's fine, I guess. Makes their Dread returns a little harder. I guess that's not nothing. And I will just pass to them, I suppose. There's a Dread return. There's a Nod of the Bone. You can gain a lot of life, but we gotta find that Exile Graveyard card. One of them. Gonna play a Stinkweed Imp, and then are they gonna Dread Return? I mean, if they Dread Return something here, I can then just like journey it to nowhere, so that's kind of fine. I think they're probably just gonna pass. Indeed. There's a Lightning Bolt. Start with the Synth. Ancient Den. Okay, crack a clue. There's the Bojuka Bog. I did play my Ancient Den before cracking a clue, which was potentially silly. They have one turn to potentially use something here, but that's fine, I think. And then next turn, assuming we're not dead somehow, I'm gonna Kirk, wipe the board, Lightning Bolt this Stinkweed, and then Bojuka Bog everything away. They're gonna unearth a Scrapwork mod. Okay, do the old Stinkweed Imp. Yeah, found their Lotless Giants. 10 cards, 10 creatures in grave at the moment. I probably should have taken them going to combat as an opportunity to Krark Clan away their graveyard, or excuse me, their creatures. That was a bit of a mistake. So they are going to be able to hit us for 13 here. So that's pretty annoying. They also sacrificed, I guess, not the wrong one of these because they want the other one in the grave, but okay. Well, we're at 12, or excuse me, 8. We took 12, 13. Let's see if we can not die. Guardian of the Guild Pact's kind of cool. Journey to Nowhere, this Lotless Giant. Attack for a bunch. And Bojuka Bog you in my Boros deck. Kind of cool. Hold up Lightning Bolts. We have a Krark Clan if we really need it. Next turn we get down a Guardian. There's a Circle of the Land Druid. Bins a Dread Return. Okay. And a Stinkweed Imp. I can bolt the Stinkweed Imp, but I probably don't want to do that until I have a way to replay this Bojuka Bog. Galvanic Blast. Could also maybe just go for the burn win at some point. For now, we'll play the Guardian and pass. Maybe I should have just cracked the Synth there. We had a way to use a good amount of our mana, plus I kind of want to leave up some bolts, and I don't want to crack the Synth unless I have to, but it's possible it was the right play there. Cycle a Troll, get a G with Thermal Bog. Gnaw to the Bone, sure, they can gain 4. Trying to stay ahead of burn, I guess. Reasonable. There's a Skyfisher, so we can just bolt the Stinkweed, pick up the Bojuka Bog with the Skyfisher, and then Bojuka Bog him again. I think I like that. Hit this, attack, everything. Also, if they want to trade this here, that's fine. It's just another creature gone. I know they get a land back. I'm not too concerned about that. Play a Skyfisher. Pick up the Bog, and Bog them again. Now they have 2 cards in hand, one of which is a land, and they got to find a win from here. We have 8 plus 4. We need 1 more damage to kill him next turn. Nice. Alright, like I said, we get to... Oh, Prismatic Strands is also pretty good against them because it prevents damage, and the Goliath does damage. But we get all of these cards in. Guardian actually isn't really necessary. Nor are Journeys usually, but if they go the Exhume route, I might actually want them. We got a lot of stuff that's like kind of okay, but we really don't need a Makeshift. We don't really need this many Inspectors, I don't think. I mean, Thrapens are obviously preferable to Novice. And then we could bring in some like Electricries, but I don't think we need to. So I think this is fine. We'll keep the Journeys just in case they go for the Exhume play, which, seeing that we have the Bojuka Bog, obviously they don't know quite how much graveyard removal we have. But if they know that they need to be worried about it, then the quick Exhume play is kind of a better hand to mulligan for. Alright, we have a Prismatic, we have some Lembas. None of our 6 cards that exile graveyards, but we have Lembas, which helps us find them, so I think we're going to keep this. It's a little slow. We'd prefer a Plains to get this Inspector down turn 1, but in the end, another Lembas. In the end, a Novice Inspector on turn 1 doesn't really do that much. I guess it holds back their 1/1s from attacking for a bit. It's not the end of the world. Cycle their Troll. They do go for the Exhume route. Could be bad here, though. Wish we would have a Cycler, an Oliphant to put out. And indeed, they do have the Exhume. So let's see if we can survive this. We're like 2 attacks away. There's the Thraben Charm. That's pretty good, but we're like 2 attacks away from being able to even Prismatic Strand. Radiant Fountain is... I think we have enough life gain with these Lembuses, and we need this Boros Garrison next turn anyway, so I don't think we need this Radiant Fountain. Another Prismatic Strands. Okay, well, we might have a shot here. I wouldn't hate a Plains to be able to just do it, the Prismatics, a little faster. Take 6, and then a Satyr Wayfinder. There's another Inspector. Well, I guess we're playing a Lembas. There's the Plains that we wanted. I guess I can play an Inspector this turn, which allows us to next turn hold a Prismatic and then be able to flash it back. So, like, it's not terrible. We are dying, though, pretty quickly. We'll take 6. Don't have much of a choice. Circle of the Land Druid. And they hit Stinkweed, Dread Return. Bojuka Bog's a pretty good draw, because I was just going to say Boros Garrison we can't really play if we want to hold the Prismatic Strands. So we need another land, and Bojuka Bog's a great one. So I'm going to throw that out here. Blow up their grave. It's a mini, mini amount of cards, but not irrelevant cards. And then when they attack, we'll Prismatic Strands, prevent the 6 damage. And then the next turn we can do it for free, and we can start holding up Lembas activations, include tokens, and then some other stuff. So it's kind of cool. They cycle a Generous Scent for a Wooded Ridgeline and a Troll for a Geothermal Bog or something, a Swamp, sure. Okay. If they do just try to like reanimate another one of these, I might actually have to Thraben Charm this turn though. But I guess we're just going to Prismatic Strands. I don't really want to go to 2 because then their 1/1s become really powerful. And like a Stinkweed Imp could be a really good attacker and stuff. But if they do have a reanimate, now they go for it on the Generous Scent. Yep, another Exhume. And then they have 2 different colored attackers. No, they went for the Troll. Well, I like that because I can prevent damage from both of those at the same time. So that's not bad for us. Okay. We do have 3 turns to hold them off, but that's not infinite. So we need to find Journey to Nowheres. I guess enough creatures to use these on these guys too. Should I do a Synth or not? Because I don't really know what the Synth's going to turn up. I could just play a Lembas, play a Novice Inspector. No, but we still have a red mana. Yeah, let's start with a Synth. See what we get from there. Glint Hawk's good. We'll use that. And we will pick up a Synth. I might not use what it gets because if it's a land, like I really want to get this Garrison down to pick up the Bojuka Bog. Yeah, Windscarred Crag. Not bad, but yes, do I need the Bojuka Bog this quickly? They're kind of just going on the beatdown route. Maybe I can afford it. Maybe I can get greedy. Let's see. Play this, and then I think we're gonna Lembas as opposed to sacking a Lembas. Other planes don't need it. Mountain, fair enough. All right. I think we're in an okay spot. We have 3 turns that we can buy. They attack with the Trolls. We will prevent all damage from black sources this turn, so we can't block either of them anyway. They have an Ancient Grudge for our Great Furnace, and for our other Great Furnace, well, that's pretty annoying. So we do still have enough mana to Prismatic Strands, but that's just about all we can do now. That means I can't Boros Garrison back this Bojuka Bog this turn, so all we can really do is play a Mountain, play an Inspector, and then Prismatic. So I'll probably do that. I could also Thraben Charm this turn to kill one of the Trolls, but I kind of want to save on the Thraben Charm in case we need to use it on the graveyard. Plus then we'd still be taking 6, so Prismatic Strands I think is probably better this turn. The next turn we can Thraben Charm. But losing those 2 lands is pretty brutal, I will admit. Because we were also trying to save up to start cracking Clues and Lembuses, and now we are set back from being able to do that. I wish we had 1 more power here because we could maybe kill a Troll, but we did not. There's a Galvanic Blast. So if we triple block and then Galvanic Blast one of them next turn and then Prismatic, we can do that. And then Thraben Charm the other. It's not terrible. So let's just pass. We have Clues and Lembuses we can crack now. So I'm going with the Trolls. So I think we do try to Thraben Charm one of them, triple block the other, and then Galvanic Blast, but we still need a Prismatic, otherwise we still lose all of these guys. So Thraben Charm. I guess we don't need to Thraben Charm this turn though, just in case there's like some blowout. We can do that another turn, because we're not taking the damage from this either way, right? So yeah, do that, prevent black damage, and then if they go to end step here, we'll Galvanic Blast this. Probably crack a Clue first, actually. Relic, that's pretty good. Galvanic Blast, and crack another Clue, I suppose. I guess this means if they want to like blow up our stuff with like an Ancient Grudge again, they can, like Lembuses and whatnot, but that's fine. I will give them that window. Looks like we're good. Journey to Nowhere. I can just use that on the Troll, actually, and then we can leave up Thraben Charm. It's pretty good. So let's Journey. Get rid of Troll. And here's all our graveyard hate coming out. Boros Garrison, pick up this Bojuka Bog. We're holding a Thraben Charm that they don't know about, and we have a Relic of Progenitus. It's pretty brutal out there for them. I guess we might as well attack for 2 in the air. Malevolent Rumble. You got it. 2 Giants. 2 little 2-drops. Perfect. Giant is pretty useless nowadays. And those prismatic strands, I mean, they're both gone fully, but like they bought us so many turns to do everything we possibly needed to. They got a Circle of the Land Druid. They Satyr Wayfinder, however. Mill another giant Blanchwood Prowler Scrapwork Mutts. Did not find a land off that guy. Play the Circle of Land Druid. I mean, they don't have much else to do except like fill their graveyard, but they're going for it. Found a Dread Return. They sack. We'll exile the graveyard in response. Pop the Relic and fizzle the spell and the ability. And now we get to start synthesizing what we really want to be doing. There's a Galvanic Blast. Let's play another synth. The Skyfisher. Let's play that. Pick up a synth. Ancient Den. Let's blast them. Play an Ancient Den and attack for 2. I'll pass, leave up this Thraben Charm and Alembus, just in case there's a way they could refill their graveyard again, which they did pretty well this last turn. But Thraben Charm's gonna take them out if they do. Play a Stinkweed Imp. Pass to us. We'll crack Alembus. Get an Inspector. Let's play a Synth. Do a Plains. Let's play an Inspector. Crack the Clue. Lightning Bolt. Let's just save that to throw at them. Play another Inspector. Pass. No reason to attack with the Glint Hawk and the Core Skyfisher. Put the Stinkweed in the grave and then have to like Thraben Charm it away. We might as well just wait them out. Play a Geothermal Bog. And looks like maybe hard casting a Troll or an Ent or something. Or a Goliath. Nope, it's a Troll. We have tons of blockers for that guy now. So we will crack a Clue here. And another Lightning Bolt. I think we'll just throw one at them right now. Just because we use a lot of our mana every single turn. We're going to start cracking synths if we don't have anything else to do. Thraben Charm. Well, let's crack a synth. Glint Hawk. Nice. Play that. Pick up the other synth. Get another one. Let's play that. Get our chain going. Play a Thraben Inspector. Ancient Den. Pass to them. And they concede there. Let's see if we can pull out the 2-3 here. Changeling Outcast. That's an interesting one. Let's start with a Thraben Inspector. Pass. This usually means they have something that cares about their creature types. So, I don't know what that would be. Changeling Outcast. Another one. Can't be blocked and can't block. Where's our Krark clan when you need it? I guess we're taking a damage here. There's a Galvanic Blast. I mean, I can't block, so I'll attack here. And I guess hold up the one Galvanic I can, just in case they try to do something crazy here. And crack a Clue if not. I think we're taking 3 if nothing changes here. Like if they ninjutsu or something, we're doing something different, but they don't. Village Rites, okay. Play a Swamp and pass, very well. We'll crack a Clue. There's a Synth. Thraben Charm. Synth's actually kind of awkward here because we don't have another red, so I think maybe we just play a Bridge and leave up our removal again. Probably Thraben Charm one of these guys or something. And next turn we'll go for the Synth. Don't want to waste value on it, you know. Play a Swamp. Swing in for 2. I think we'll take it one more time. And they're going to pass. Okay, well, they might just have another Village Rites, but I guess we'll... I don't want a Thraben Charm because then they can kill this in response. So actually we'll just go to our turn. Inspector. Alright, let's play a Synth. Get a Radiant Fountain. That's pretty good. Play that and play an Inspector. Then attack for 1 and I'll pass. Still don't know what they're up to. They've played 3 Changeling Outcasts, 4 Swamps, and a Village Rites. There's another Village Rites. That's why I didn't want to Thraben Charm their guy. They've gotten some damage off these guys, but otherwise they're not getting much value onto the Village Rites, so that's kind of cool. Ooh, Conduit Pylons. Okay, Mill a Swamp. Looks like a mono black something for sure. And this is just for the Surveil, I'm assuming. Attack for 1 more. Is the ninjutsu happening? Because I've been expecting this. It's an Okiba Gang Shinobi. It's way too late for me to not have something. I kind of want to Thraben Charm this. They'd have to have 2 removal spells, but it's not unreasonable for them to have like a Defile and a Snuff Out. So I think I'm just going to Galvanic Blast this. So yeah, because if they did, then that'd be pretty good if they killed both our guys and still took 2 cards out of our hand. Be quite worth it. Changeling Outcast once again. All right, let's play our Skyfisher, pick up the Synth, and oh, they have conceded there. All right. So some sort of weird ninja thing. I mean, all we saw was 1/1s. I'm assuming there's going to be some more of those. So I think we pull in the Electricaries and the Prismatic. They're mono black, so I think Guardian's got to be good. Makeshift. I mean, Makeshift would have been good there because like they were so slow, but I don't know if they're going to be that way every time. Office Inspectors don't seem very good when they can't block anything. Any Inspectors, that is. Journeys to Nowhere don't seem great at the moment either. So sure, let's give this a go. know that we're bringing in a lot of instant speed reactive cards, so, you know, when we play our synth, we need to be a little bit more mindful of that. We can't not play the synth, obviously, but it's possible we need to try to wait a couple more turns where we know all or most of the cards in our deck are going to be beneficial. A turn where, you know, maybe we wait a couple turns to play it so that Intellect Trickery is more powerful or something like that. This hand is bad. Our Bajuka Bog ruining us there a little bit. This hand's not very good either. We have 2 blasts. We pick a Thraben Charm, so we can prevent the Ninja hit early, but that's kind of all we got going for us. I think we got to go down more. Yeah, this is better. Get rid of Galvanic, and I don't really want to get rid of a land, honestly. I think we just get rid of 2 Galvanics and hope this cast, like if they have a similar draw to last time, the Cast into the Fire will be decent. So that's what we're hoping for. They have a Swamp and nothing turn 1. We drew another Inspector, so I'm just going to go with a turn 1 Inspector and then turn 2 Inspector as well, rather than playing both of them turn 2. Another Swamp and pass, so they got nothing going on. I'm going to play this Rustvale Bridge. Against Mono Black, really the only way that they can do anything against your artifacts is by taking them from your hand with like a Divest. So I'd rather have my artifact lands on the field. Or there's like Clawing Torment. I've seen one black Mono Black burn deck use where it's like every upkeep you take a damage off of it. It's an enchantment, but usually they're safer on the field. Desert, that's not going to do anything against anything we have, I don't think. Wrathy Intimidator, 2/1 Fear. I've never seen this card before. 2/1 Fear. Search your library for a Mercenary permanent card with mana value 2 or less, put it onto the battlefield. So that's what they're doing. Mercenaries. I mean, that is so cool. Is it very good? I don't know. But it can tutor up Changing Outcasts, 2 or less, yeah. This guy can also attack past my guys. So that's kind of cool, too. Do I just cast that into the fire? Probably wait for them to turn it into something. Well, if they tutor out a Changeling Outcast, I'll just shoot them both. If they attack with this and looking to, I guess, well, I don't know, it's tough. Because if they attack with it and they try to Okiba it, I need to cast it into the fire before they Okiba it. But if I do it now, I might waste value. But if I don't, then they might have a Village Rites for it. I think we're just going to shoot it now. I think the value we're getting is the fact that they paid 3 mana for this and I'm paying 2 mana. Plus, if they do tutor something else out with this, this is basically killing 2 cards anyway. So, like, I just getting Okiba ganged or letting them get a free Village Rites both seem really bad. So I don't think we're going to do that. And our value is all really slow with clue tokens. So let's try to prevent them from having any more value than they need. Oh, well, they played another one. So if that was their goal, maybe it would have been good to wait. But also, if I hadn't killed that, they might not have played another one. So Munitions is not bad. Well, if I play Mountain Munitions and then they can Okiba gang this, they can hurt me pretty bad. But I can play Boros Garrison to pick up a land, pick up the life gain land, so that we actually still have 3 cards. So if they now Okiba us, I get to keep my Makeshift still, at least. And this guy's got Fear, so that's the best I can do at the moment. But then if they don't, I can play this Makeshift next turn and start like picking off the Intimidator and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. They're tutoring with it. Did they have anything other than the Changeling? I know there's like pacifisms if they're splashing the white guy. Ooh, this is a Mercenary. Oh, there's 2 just for Mercenaries. For some reason I was thinking Rebels, because they also do that with Rebels. Silver Deputy. When enters, search for a basic land or a desert. Put it on top. Target creature you control gets ++0. I mean, it blocks these guys, I guess. It's not nothing. Conduit Pylons on top as well. Okay. And then play a Conduit Pylons after. That seems interesting. So do you want to leave that on top that you already have on top, or do you want to put it into your graveyard? They leave it on top. Because they want a lot of lands. And they play a Sterling Keykeeper. Oh my gosh. Well, I applaud the Mercenary build. This looks sweet. I do think we're going to probably want to Makeshift and ping this guy off before he keeps tutoring guys out. But we do also have Synth. I guess these guys aren't doing me much good at this point. So yeah, I think we're going to crack a clue. Got a Bolt. Okay, Bolt's fine. And then we're going to Makeshift. And then we're going to ping this guy with a Novice Inspector. Should have been less of a novice. All right. Well, got their engine gone. Next turn we can synth and probably play something good off of that. We have a makeshift to start picking off their small guys. Yeah, we'll be okay. I'm gonna double block this if they attack with it. Ooh, Snuff Out. I was gonna say if they attack with both, I will block them both, even though it's a chump, because I don't want to get Okiba'd. But their Snuff Out kind of tells me they're gonna Okiba me whether I like it or not. So let's block here, and they are splashed on the white for some of these guys. But hey, they got me good. Makeshift can take this guy out, so I think we're gonna get rid of the bolt and the crag and keep the synth. And they have that mount guy in hand. Ooh, Cast of the Fire is not bad. Let's play the synth, see what we get off of that. Thraben Charm, I mean, that'll kill this too. Let's try to do that. So they have another Snuff Out. But if they do, I guess I'll throw this and I'll throw like a clue at this. Yep, they do have the Snuff Out. Pretty annoying. But, I mean, this was a free card off the synth, so it's fine. They're at 7, so we can also just burn them out. Pretty easily at this point. They've done 8 of the damage themselves. So we have a makeshift for 3 at the moment, and then I guess just a Galvanic off top would do it. So that's kind of cool. They play their Keykeeper back out. Another Deputy. Choose not to search. Hit for 1. Skyfishers, a great draw. Play that. Bounce the synth. Get a Lightning Bolt. I think we're just throwing that at the face. And then passing. We have Cast of the Fire up and Makeshift. They have a Defile for this core Skyfisher, so let's just throw it at them. So next turn we can just play Synth and then throw our 2 lands and our Synth at them, unless they have an Okiba here. But I think their last card in hand is a Conduit Pylons, right? Because didn't they 2 do that to the top? Surveil it to the top and then not play it? Oh, I guess something different happened. They got a Changeling Outcast though, so I think we got them. Boys, we got them. Play a Synth. And let's throw the synth. And we'll throw an Ancient Den and this Great Furnace as well. Alright, well, we got a 2-3 with the deck. Not terrible. Obviously not what you want to be, but I think the deck in general has so many decision points that it's definitely one you need to master, and I have not mastered it yet. But also, a lot of the one-of includes that were added to this deck, Guardian, Prismatic Strands, Bojuka Bog, Krark, everything, makes it even more decisions like, oh, can I afford to play an Experimental Synthesizer here because what I've hit my Guardian, and Guardian would be really good in this matchup, things like that. That I think makes it really tough, but I'm honestly not surprised that Lindoso has been doing so well with it, because it feels like there's so much power, and if someone really knew what they were doing with the deck, I think it could be quite good. Obviously, Chrysalises and things like that are still a problem, but you just gotta play around them a little bit. I think Journey to Nowhere is a card that, as soon as Thraben Charm was printed, Journey to Nowhere was like, okay, let's get rid of this. It's not good anymore. It's not worth it. And Thraben Charm is a phenomenal card, for sure. But Journey to Nowhere still just takes care of anything for 2 mana. And then Writhing Chrysalis is a problem for this deck. Well, Galvanic Blast, Lightning Bolts, and even Thraben Charms, unless you have a lot of creatures, can't deal with them. Journey to Nowhere can. So I think it's just, I was mentioning this a few weeks ago in one of my videos, but a lot of people are just like, oh, this deck's bad now. Something new came out and it makes the deck slightly worse. Let's get rid of it. And it's like, no, you just need to adjust to the meta just like every other deck. And don't just throw something away just because it's not working right now. Change it a little bit, make it better. So I think I might keep playing this deck. It seems very, very fun, a very high skill ceiling, and that's the type of deck that I like. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.